Hey everyone. So, as future dental professionals, your whole mission, right, is to heal. You're learning all about how to treat cavities, manage gum disease, and basically give your patients their smiles back. But today, we're going to talk about expanding that mission. We're going to see why sustainability isn't just some buzzword, but an absolutely core part of your job as a 21st century dentist.
All right, let's just jump right in with a pretty wild question. I want you to imagine for a second that your next patient isn't sitting in your chair. Instead, their symptoms are things like rising temperatures, polluted rivers, and a loss of biodiversity. What if your most important patient is actually the planet itself? This is the kind of mindset we need to start embracing if we're going to be true healers in this day and age.
So, to kick things off, let's talk about this unexpected patient. It sounds kind of backwards, right? But the very field that's dedicated to health is actually having a pretty big and often ignored negative impact on the health of our planet. And that's the big paradox we really need to face head on.
Let's put a number on that paradox. Globally, the healthcare sector, that's all of us, is responsible for 4.4% of all greenhouse gas emissions. Just let that sink in for a minute. The industry designed to heal people is actively contributing to the biggest health crisis of our time, climate change. It's a massive contradiction, and one we've got a moral duty to fix.
You know, this quote from botanist Robin Wall-Kimmerer just hits the nail on the head. This isn't just about switching to LED light bulbs or putting out a recycling bin. It's about a fundamental act of restoration. It's about healing our entire relationship with the natural world that keeps us and our patients alive.
So, that's the big picture for healthcare. But what about us? How does this apply directly to what we do every single day in the dental clinic? Let's zoom in now and really look at dentistry's specific environmental footprint, because honestly, understanding our impact is the very first step to making any real change.
And here's where we find our power. It's right there, in the dental chair. Get this, a patient with a lifetime of very high dental disease has an environmental footprint that is 8 times greater than a patient with very low disease. This is huge. It means prevention isn't just great clinical practice. It's literally the most powerful sustainability tool we have.
So where does all this come from? Well, just think about one single appointment. The most obvious culprit is single-use plastics. We're talking an average of 21 plastic items every single time. Then you've got the invisible stuff, like nitrous oxide, which is a super potent greenhouse gas that's often leaking from our equipment. And all of this is powered by the huge amount of energy our clinics use, which in turn creates a ton of both clinical and regular waste.
Okay, knowing there's a problem is one thing, but what's going to actually motivate us to act? This is where we need a major paradigm shift. It's all about adopting a new mindset, something we call planetary empathy. Think of this as the engine that's going to drive real sustainable change in our careers and our lives.
So what in the world is planetary empathy? It's really just extending our natural ability to care beyond just other people. It's about having this deep, holistic understanding that our health and the planet's health are completely intertwined. It's about finally getting that we are part of nature, not separate from it. And when you see it that way, caring for the planet becomes a form of patient care.
So how do we actually build this mindset? Well, it's a journey, a cycle. It starts with reflection, looking inward at our own values and our impact. That self-awareness leads to reciprocity, this give-and-take relationship with the natural world. From there, we build a deep sense of responsibility for the future, which finally powers our response, taking real, concrete action in our clinics.
Let's make this totally real. Okay, meet Jamie. Jamie sees his connection to nature as a core part of who he is. He's always looking for ways to cut waste and pushes his hospital to buy more sustainable products. His values and his practice are one and the same. Now meet Lucas. Lucas is a great clinician, no doubt, but he sees all this sustainability stuff as somebody else's problem. It's not part of his main job of treating the patient right in front of him. He just doesn't connect the dots between a sick planet and sick patients. So, which one do you want to be?
Okay, so we've got the mindset, we're on board, now what do we actually do? Let's get practical. It's time to build a sustainable treatment plan for our own practices. This next part is all about turning that idea of planetary empathy into real, actionable steps you can use in your future clinic.
Here's a quick guide. Take plastics. The goal isn't just to recycle more, it's to fundamentally reduce how much we use from the get-go. Or nitrous oxide. It's about being vigilant, checking our equipment for leaks, because that gas is almost 300 times more powerful than CO2 at warming the planet. Wow.
And even with antibiotics, every prescription we write matters. Following the guidelines helps fight antimicrobial resistance in our water systems. See, these are all totally manageable changes with a huge impact.
So what does all this mean for you right now as a student? Let's talk about your role as a healer. You aren't just the next generation of dentists. You are the next generation of leaders in this massive movement for a healthier planet. And you don't have to wait until you graduate to be a leader. You can start right now. First, find your school's Planetary Health Report card online. Hold them accountable. Second, use your voice in class. Ask your professors how sustainability is being taught in your courses. And finally, team up. Join or even start a student-led group. Your voice is so important in making this change happen.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Your duty of care, it doesn't stop at the person in your chair. It extends to the very systems that support all life on Earth. The real question isn't if you'll be a healer. We know you will be. It's how you'll define healing. How will you heal more than just your patient?